Hello and welcome back to Allie Bakes. Today we are the American Heart Association's worst nightmare because we are making bacon, cheese, jalapeno scones. Let's get started. Like all things that are good in this world, this recipe starts with bacon. Exact ingredients and measurements will be in the description box below as usual. I've got 4 pieces of extra thick cut bacon going into a pan to get nice and crispy. It was during this time that I realized I have truly Pavlov dogged myself into thinking that every time I smell bacon, I'm going to get coffee. So of course I had to bring out the Chemex coffee maker and my Trader Joe's coffee and make myself a little sippy to get through this bake. It's good and crispy. For the record, this is not how I eat my bacon. I like my bacon real floppy. Like if it's not almost raw, I don't want it. Let's go see if we have some peepers. Come on out. Selfishly, I wanted to try this recipe because I have been growing jalapenos in my backyard all summer and I wanted an excuse to harvest them and use them in a homemade baked good, and luckily I had quite a few ready to be picked. I gave birth to these. We all know the spiciest part of the jalapeno is the seeds, so if you don't want these scones to absolutely burn your face off, de-seed them before you finally dice them. My knife skills are abysmal. I feel like a toddler. Jalepenos. Once you have your peppers and bacon ready to go, you can make the actual dough for your scones. Pretty simple: flour, baking powder, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, paprika, a few cranks of black pepper, and then stir to make sure all your dry ingredients are thoroughly combined. Now here is the secret hack for cutting in your butter. Keep your stick of butter, 8 tablespoons, in the freezer, and then you can just cheese grate that sucker instead of worrying about dicing it up really finely. You're gonna do the exact same thing with about 4 ounces of pepperjack cheese, and then you can cut in the butter and the cheese at the exact same time. This is some big brain stuff that I have come up with just for you. Just be careful on the cheese grater, because sometimes this thing can feel a little bit perilous to use. Now, once you have your super cold butter and your cheese all grated up, you're gonna use your God-given pastry cutters, which are your hands, to combine this until you get kind of a shaggy, loose dough. You just don't want any big butter chunks. And don't be afraid to really get in there. Your sweat makes it taste better. This is just gonna chill in the freezer for like 15 minutes while I clean up my mess and get everything else going. Okay, I've cleaned up my disaster. Now it's time to chop this bacon. You can chop this as finely as you'd like. I left a few big chunks in there, just for fun. You're gonna add your finely chopped bacon and your finely chopped jalapeno to your bowl with your crusty, dusty powder dough mixture. After that, you're gonna add 1 egg and then the secret ingredient, 1 cup of full fat Greek yogurt is gonna go in, and that's gonna act as your binder that's gonna hold this mess together. Do your best, stir as much as you can with a rubber spatula or a spoon, but eventually you're gonna have to go in with the old hands again.
heavy breathing over this. I need to calm down.
You'll know it's combined enough when it starts cleaning the sides of the bowl for you, like there's no more loose powdery flour left. After it's well combined, you're going to generously flour your work surface so you can turn out the dough and begin to cut it into its beautiful little scony shapes. You can use a rolling pin or you can just use your hands. You want the dough to be about 1 inch thick. Now, you can either shape this into a circle and cut it up pizza style, or you can be fancy and use a cookie cutter to make circular scones, which is what I did. Once they're all cut out, you're just going to hit the tops of them with an egg wash and then stick them in the oven at 400 degrees for between 18 to 22 minutes, or until they are nice and crispy crunchy brown on top. If you have any leftover dough, you can freeze it for later.
It's scone time. Oh yeah. Do you mind?
These are ready to be enjoyed immediately after they come out of the oven, and I highly recommend that you eat them warm. The smell is amazing. They bake out super flaky, crispy, crunchy. A real treat for the eyes and nose.
These might be worth burning your face off for. We'll see. The cheese, get out of here. They're super light. And you get the flavor of the pepperjack throughout, but you also get hit with those little cheesy pockets. Wow. You don't even need butter or anything to dip it in. It's just bomb on its own. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I mean, it has bacon in it. How's it not gonna be 10 out of 10?
As always, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. I'm so excited to be back next week with more delicious bakes. I'll see you guys next time.